Alright, Gundies, we have a parcel here from the postie who has sent this to me, Gunrus Gaming. I wouldn't be opening up anyone else's parcels for that matter, but let's open up and see what Chocobo has sent me from the Khanlands. Wow, dude, you've been travelling quite a bit of distance. Wow, he has sent us the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. Now, Chocobo, I could have done with this 3 reviews ago. For those that are new to the channel, we are reviewing every Final Fantasy game, and this is going to help us on our mission to complete the next title in our review series, that one being Final Fantasy IV. So let's jump on in and check out my thoughts on Final Fantasy IV. Thanks, Chocobo. I tell you, Gundies, when you're talking about Final Fantasy games, I must admit, for me personally, I really haven't heard many people talk about Final Fantasy IV. When I ask them what their favourite Final Fantasy is, they really haven't mentioned this game, so I'm really intrigued to see what Final Fantasy IV is all about. This time round, our game revolves around the main protagonist, Cecilia Harvey, a Dark Knight and captain of the Red Wings, a powerful airship fleet. Cecile's journey is one of redemption and uncovering the dark secrets about his king and the fate of the world. Cecile begins as a loyal knight of the Kingdom of Baron, but is torn between his loyalty for his king and his growing awareness of his king's corruption. This internal conflict is the cornerstone of his character development and sets stage for a grand narrative that includes the themes of redemption, betrayal, and self-discovery. The supporting cast is just as compelling, from the headstrong yet compassionate Rosa to the mysterious summoner Ryder. Each character is given a rich backstory and an essential role in the larger narrative. The dynamics between the characters are well crafted, with moments of humour, sadness, and tension. In addition, the game features a memorable villain in Golbez, whose dark ways drive much of the plot. Unlike in previous Final Fantasy titles, this one has not 1, not 2, but 3 mapped environments. The main Earth area has mountains, forest terrain, rivers and oceans. Our second area has hot lava underworlds, and for the very first time in the Final Fantasy history, we go out into space for the moon map. I really had no idea this was coming. I was so giddy with excitement, being the big space nerd I am. The moon map was far my favourite place, my favourite world map, that is. Seeing our little characters on the large moon surface did give me quite the giggle, I must say. If I had anything to complain about here, it would be that I wish the moon area was a little bit bigger, but I'm very grateful for this addition. I mean, for a game from the early 90s, having this much packed into it with so many different varieties of maps and environments is quite impressive for its time. I must say, I really enjoyed the new addition of the mid-dungeon checkpoints, allowing for an easier grind and experimentation without having to head back to the town areas. In previous games, there was a lot of time wasted. Being able to whip out a tent and jump straight back into grinding, I just love this. The battle system introduces the ATV function for the first time in the game series, this standing for Active Time Battle. A change from the traditional turn-based battles, this system keeps the battles fast-paced and dynamic, between allowing characters to act as soon as the action bar fills, adding a layer of strategy and urgency to every encounter. Personally, I found there wasn't a lot of thinking to be had within battles. Even with the cool job classes like Dragoon, Paladin, and Ninja, you could simply attack, heal, jump, and summon the entire game. I found myself, with the power of the Pixel Remaster, using the auto battle function quite a bit, and really saying that, you know, with RPGs nowadays, I don't really mind the auto battle system. Sometimes it makes it quite a bit more easier when you're trying to grind out a lot of levels. You don't have to focus in too much. Now, it wouldn't be a Final Fantasy review without talking all things monsters and bosses, and this game brings quite an impressive roster of 157 monsters, not including bosses. Some standout monsters for me would have to be the Cat Slith. Being a crazy cat man, how could I not love them? Malboro because of being such a classic character in the world of Final Fantasy, and Mrs. Vamp because, well, I just really love the art style, and she just looks so badass hanging from the roof. Now, like in every great RPG, we must talk boss battles. From the creepy ant-like bug ant-lion boss to the dark elf, the game really just has you thinking, what dark creation do we have to fight up against next? Besides the final boss, which we'll talk about shortly, there's a boss which I needed to talk about, and that was the boss called the Demon Wall. My first time coming across this, I was like, oh my god, it's a freaking wall of all things. And this doesn't surprise me because in my time of Final Fantasy, I have gone up against a house boss. Now I've gone up against a demon wall. I mean, what's freaking next? A demon fence? I also love the Magnus sisters. I love the art style behind the strong female characters, Sandy, Cindy, and Mindy. Not a difficult battle by any means, but I really enjoyed going up against them. The final boss, Zeromus, wow, Gundies, seriously, the entire game for me was quite easy, but then when you get to Zeromus, it ramps up by 1,000% the difficulty. Zeromus absolutely kicked my ass, even with the number of my characters being between level 85 to 90. Zeromus starts as this unknown sort of being. It's strange in a way. It kind of reminds me of a Pokemon Tangela, but it might just be me. And it's in this form that Zeromus is unable to be harmed. Once your character Cecile uses a crystal of Zeromus, our final boss Zeromus finally reveals its physical form. It's within this form that Zeromus turns into a crazy looking alien creature, and Zeromus packs some serious power. I would be recommending, if you go against this boss, to pack plenty of elixirs for this battle because you're sure going to have quite a battle on your hands. The satisfaction of killing Zeromus is up there with some of my very favourite Final Fantasy final boss battles. I really recommend you giving this a go yourself. It's something that I will keep locked in my heart forever. It's just that good. One thing I did want to quickly jump in here with was the funny thing that you could turn your characters into pigs, and just seeing it on the screen, where you have your characters with their stats, it just made me laugh. Check this out, it's so funny. The game has music from the one and only Nobuo Uematsu, one of the greatest game composers of all time in my opinion, and I found the music in this game, like other Final Fantasy titles, to be so moving. Even as I write this script for my review, I'm sitting outside my garden, getting lost in the world of Final Fantasy. It is good as it sounds, Gundies. It is amazing. If you have access to Spotify or the original soundtrack for that matter, I would highly recommend listening to the Red Wings and A Theme of Love. Both are so moving and really have you feeling immersed in the game. Difficulty for Final Fantasy for me, for the most part, was quite easy. Being, as I said, a seasoned RPG gamer, I found this to be easier than most RPGs. So it would have been nice to have been a little bit harder, but overall I absolutely had a blast playing it, and it really did kick up at the end with difficulty with the final boss there, so I can't have any complaints there. Time-wise, if you're looking to get the Platinum Trophy like I did, you're probably looking at around about 20 hours if you're not looking at any sort of guides, but I would highly recommend because there's a lot of hidden areas and places where you might miss out on certain monsters that will stop you from getting the Platinum Trophy. Well, that was Final Fantasy IV done. I absolutely had a blast playing this game. It would go down as being my favourite Final Fantasy game so far in this review series, and we have got quite a long way to go, but I'm having an absolute blast. I hope you guys are too watching these videos. Next up, we're going to be playing a different game before we come back to playing Final Fantasy V and reviewing that title, so stay tuned for that. I'm really pushing hard to try and get out a review at least once a month for you guys, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I know there's been a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm back on board, guys, and I'll be back bigger than ever, dropping more videos much more frequently. Anyway, I would just like to say thank you for all your support. It always is such a big motivator for me to know that you guys are enjoying these videos, and to be getting close to that 40,000 subscribers now. I'm absolutely blown away. I never thought this sort of day would come, and I just want to thank each and every one of you who is supporting me. Please leave some comments below. I'd love to see that. There hasn't been a lot in recent videos, so just tell me what I can improve on, what you want me to review next, what's your next big series you'd like me to do, all those sort of questions, drop them down below. I'd love to see them. From me to you guys, this is Gun and Russ, and I just want to say, don't forget to subscribe, fools. See you later.